Welcome to the Two Pines Radio Show with your host, that Nick guy. And today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to drink some coffee and talk about a few things. And I have a new host, not a new host. Holy crap, I should probably drink more of this stuff and wake the fuck up.
Is that like whenever you wake up with a one-night stand, say, so we're dating now? It's like, we haven't even got through the first podcast. You're like, we're hosts now, right?
Hey, that's kind of how that went.
Tell me this means more to you than it does.
Today I have a very special guest. He's been in my life for pretty much my whole adolescence, and I really look up to this guy, and I really haven't talked to him a whole lot in the last 4 or 5 years and whatnot.
Life gets harder when you're an adult.
Yeah, or when you realize you're an adult and you're already 30. But go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Kel McGuire. I've known Nick. I know him more as Slamma than Nick, which is his old nickname. And, like you said, we haven't talked too much. So, when I think back to him, it's mostly memories of him going by Slamma. But, so if I use that interchangeably with your name throughout this,
Go for it.
Forgive me.
My alter ego, Slamma. There's also another alter ego, which I think has been on the show once for 10 seconds or a brief mention. There's a superhero around town. His name is Ass Man. I may have a remnant around here somewhere. Hold on 1 second. Go for your plugs.
Yeah. Oh, plugging at the start? Okay, so a little bit about me while Slamma's looking for his old memorabilia. I own a business, McGuire Gaming. We do tournaments, but you can't because we live in a COVID world, so you're supposed to stay away from everybody because the air is toxic. But also sell online singles for Magic the Gathering and make playmats and pretty soon here custom dice. So that'll be fun. You can find me at McGuire Gaming on TikTok. You can find me at McGuire Gaming Accessories on Facebook and McGuire_Gaming on Instagram. And you have a Captain America mask with an A and those S's we used to draw as a child on our binders in grade school. That nobody teaches their kids, but somehow every kid learns how to do it.
Ergonomics.
Even before the internet.
Before the internet, this is how you learn to draw an ass.
Yes. Although
Evildoers beware. I am Ass Man. Hold on.
Yours are backwards.
I don't know where he went.
Oh, okay.
He's good.
Yeah. Jesus.
Even on my Patreon, I kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
Oh, for sure. Well, if you're taking this too seriously, you're not going to go anywhere. You can't be in it for the money because odds are a podcast, especially in the saturated market, they're just going to be there. Your biggest fans are going to be the people around you. Have you had John Eric Corey on here?
Actually, no. I've asked him, but it's always been maybe later, or maybe I haven't pushed too much for it, or maybe life happens and...
Yeah, they've kind of gone through some shit recently. We won't get into that, but they've had a rough few months.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Corey and Johnny's actually how I met Slamma. I was best friends with Corey Bell growing up, and he was best friends with Johnny, Corey's younger brother. And then so our paths just crossed naturally all the time.
I think the first memory I have, I came over and everyone's hanging out on the porch, and I do believe you sat on me at one point.
Probably, I was an asshole.
I think we were wrestling or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Heck, that was around the time, what's his name? Tom Lusher?
Tom Lusher, yes.
Threw a rock at me at some point.
Yeah, he was...
Stole my Entei. Just
a young, angsty teenager. He's grown up into a good dude. I mean, he lives in Pennsylvania, but we stalked him on Facebook. We found him.
Oh, he found me. I'm like, you're in Shelbyville? He's like, Pennsylvania, bro. I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
I think that was a good 5 years ago, actually.
Yeah, dude. He's got multiple kids. I know we're all 30. So, yeah. Well, you're not 30.
I'm almost 30.
Yeah.
I'm 29 this year.
But right. Have you seen that meme where it's like Jurassic Park where they're hiding from the...
Shared it this morning.
Yeah. Millennials is hiding from 30, the Velociraptor.
30. It's coming up.
Yeah.
The big 3-0, somehow important. I don't know.
It's actually relieving. Like, you know how whenever you turn 20 and you're like, oh, thank God I'm no longer a teenager. But you're not an adult either. You can't go to a bar or anything, but at least you're not a teenager. Like, I know that nobody knows what they're doing in this world. We're all just kind of fumbling through it, making educated guesses. But I am much more confident in myself at 31 than I was at 21.
Same.
Yeah, like...
I'm much more confident as an almost 29-year-old than an almost 28-year-old.
Right, yeah, like the strides that you make in life, like in your 20s, are crucial. Like the people that are still acting like they're freaking 14 getting in fist fights, I feel sorry for them, because by the time they start working their way and trying to be like get their shit together, like they're gonna be learning all the stuff you learned in the last 8 years as a 30 or 40-year-old.
Yeah, it is a little sad. I actually saw somebody walking down the street yesterday, and I thought they were a little drunk or something. Mm-hmm. They just kept staring at my home and talking to themselves, and then kind of like fumbled a little bit. And I recognized the type of fumbling. Mm-hmm. So it definitely wasn't drunk. It was something else.
Welcome to Newcastle.
Yeah. Welcome to pretty much anywhere in this country. At some points, there are nice neighborhoods, don't get me wrong, but, people have their vices.
They just have legal drugs. Like, you go to a big, rich community, they're all on prescription drugs.
Pretty much, which it baffles me because I've never really tried any, like an anxiety attack at the hospital, they gave me a Xanax, I guess, and I don't know, I hear that word pop up a lot.
Yeah, that one's a big one. As far as I know. Like, I'm not plugged in. I don't really know, but I hear it a lot as well. I'm not going to pretend like I'm a drug expert. I got buddies that's been through some shit that I could probably consult, but I don't have any interest in that kind of life.
Same. I won't even take, like, ibuprofen.
Yeah.
Like for a massive toothache.
I had a headache yesterday morning, and I looked, and I was like, there's some headache pills, but I want to have it, zero tolerance when I need it. Like, if it's just a minor pang, I'm not going to, freak out. Like, this will go away. I'm like the real life version of the RPG where you save all your potions for when you need it, but you just never use it. Like, because I've got all the stuff you'd expect to find in an old dude's cupboard. I've got Dayquil, I've got NyQuil, I've got headache pills. I don't fucking touch it.
I have cereal. I like eating cereal when I have a headache.
Is cereal in your medicine cabinet, Simon? You stay out of my bathroom.
No, Mike Stanley's in my bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
He lives there.
Jesus.
Wait, we're not at Murph Dogs, never mind.
Yeah. I still haven't gone into Brandon's house. Apparently, he got it redone a few years back.
He lives in the same spot, right?
Yeah.
That house that I've been looking at, by the way, is...
It's across the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, that house is big.
I recently got a hold of them 2 days ago when I went on a jog, and they told me they needed some repair work done in the kitchen, so it's off the market for now, but they still have me involved with it. They've had me involved for about a year now, trying to see where I am financially, and really working with me, which is awesome.
So do they own it outright, or are they selling it through the bank?
I think they own it outright.
That's even better, because you can just sign a contract where basically they're the bank. So like when a bank owns the property, you don't have to give them any money, you just owe them money for 30 years. Mm-hmm. They're the bank in this instance. So they have total flexibility. Now they can say you need a loan and they want all their money up front, or they can sell it to you on a contract where if you fuck up, they get to keep the house and resell it for full value again.
Kind of like my HHR.
Kinda.
Had it for 2 months, and now I owe $13,000.
Right.
Which I thought about bankruptcy as an option, but the more I think about it, that's just going to delay what I really want to do.
Yeah,
getting a house delayed by 2 years minimum.
Yep. You can. Debt's manageable. Like debt isn't even.
I don't even have a whole lot. 22,000 total, 24,000.
Yeah, that's.
And most of that is.
That's a tax return, dog.
HHR.
Right.
Some of that's hospital bills.
Right.
Sprint for $666. I'll remember that.
Yeah.
Just like things here and there, Comcast was $130, but somehow has the highest impact on my credit.
Oh, because their lawyers are vicious?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's how it works for certain, but I just imagine it is.
And then one thing with a mix-up, at an apartment complex in Muncie, they switched hands 3 or 4 times, so they lost the records of me paying it off. So I still owe them $1,556.
And because you don't have the records, they can just say, oh,
I have one record, but due to a previous relationship, that mother has that receipt, and she's like, I paid this before. Maybe you should pay that now. Which, you know, I agree with, honestly. $1,556, yeah. It was to move us into an apartment that we stayed at for a while, and I have that receipt, but that's not good enough, because I had to pay it to move in, and the receipt is for Phoenix Recovery Group. Sorry. Kind of, you don't even have it in your older system, which is...
So,
I don't know, it reflects...
Depending on what the contract is, you can say that you never had an agreement with the new company.
It's for, like, not even the same name.
Well, right, but, like, was it the last month's rent when it was the new company, or was it the first month's rent?
It was a sublet, and I owed the rest of the amount. Like, I took over for somebody, and I was only there for about 2 or 3 weeks, and then I owed that much left.
I don't know, I'd fight it, or at least try to get them to settle. Be like, I paid this before. It's not my fault you didn't get all the documents from the other company. I want this off my credit.
Oh.
Best I'll give you is this.
The debt company is the same company. The company that owns the apartment is the different one that switched hands. Phoenix Recovery Group has already handled this before, but they don't have it in the new system or the old system.
Okay. I thought you meant it was like the owners of the business trying.
Oh no, they're clearly fucking me here. So either I settle for a less amount all at once, or I just pay off this amount and just get it off. You know.
Yeah, like when you get your taxes next year, I'd be like, I've got Y amount of dollars, take it or leave it.
Exactly. I think they wanted to settle for half at one point.
Yeah.
Which, you know, okay, yeah.
Well, just some money's better than no money.
Mm-hmm. And as far as Atlas goes, what, $1,200?
Yeah, that's easy.
So, when did you start? Is it McGuire Gaming?
Yes, sir. September 2018. I was up in the air on starting a business. I'm tired of working for other people. I was working at Honda at the time. I left Honda this year. I'd been contemplating quitting Honda for several years. But it paid real well. So I needed something in the meantime. A lot of people in my family are stubborn, and we don't like to be told what to do. There's a thing going around right now that school teaches you to be a good employee, not a good employer. So, like, because they teach you to stay in line, respond to bells, go to your lunch, do your work, go home. So the people that struggle in school, objectively, would make not good employees, but good employers. So if you carry that with my family, we're all smart, we just don't give a shit about school. Like my brother, he's ex-Marine, vet. He got tired of working for other people after he got out. And he started working with his cousin. I'm not going to tell his personal work history, working for a company cutting trees. The guy over his cousin was a dick. He bought a truck, started his own company. Now he's doing so well, he loses money by being on a job because he can't go to other estimates, so he has to hire more people. Like, that's awesome. My sister, she's working on getting herself stable. She's doing great things. And now it's going to be my turn. I bought a building on 14th Street. This comes back to Gigi, I promise. So one of the things that I've struggled with is I've always wanted to make money doing something I love, not just going through some arduous task. I like card games. I've played card games for probably as long as you've known me. Well over 2 decades at this point. I started playing Pokemon when I was in the single digit age. I'm 31 now. I love strategy. I love having a device to sit down and interact with my friends. And while I'm getting not too old for it, it's not practical for me to just do it all week. I'd at least want to be able to offer that same haven for other kids. Because goodness knows, you just saw a junkie in front of your house the other day. The risks are out there. It's a lot safer for a kid to go inside at his buddy's house and sling some cardboard. So I want to give back to that community. So when I started my business, it was either CBD oil like every other person in Indiana starting their own business, or making stuff for gamers. And so I was like, all right, well, what goes on to that? Well, there's almost no information for it. Everybody will provide you a custom playmat, but nobody teaches you how to do it. So while doing tours as a judge, I found a bunch of people that were in those industries, and I just started talking to them. And then the name McGuire Gaming. If you look, actually, this isn't intentional, but my nickname for a pro card game team I was on was MC Guire, because I always said that would be my rap name, MC Guire. And then a common shorthand in online games is GG for good game. So it's like, all right, GG, Guire Gaming.
It's kind of perfect.
Yeah. Now there's other people that have a GG, but whatever. Like there's a place in Indy that's really good. I like their store. It's their Guardian games, but they are storefront. I'm wanting to do manufacturing and wholesale to distributors to sell to them, but also I host events. I was doing like bi-monthly events for a competitive environment. So you go to your local tournament, you play your deck, work out the kinks. You think that it's the best deck you ever built, you want to put it to the test, you go to a higher tier event. I want to be the higher tier event. Now, a business partner on another business I own, but is also just his own business, Travis White at Save Games, which you know him from the Courier. He runs the local game shop, which you've heard of serendipity, like fate.
Yeah.
Alright, so the way I met up with Travis was I was playing Pokemon Go with a guy named Jeremiah Morrill. I'm still good. And he's very politically involved. So the way he knows Travis is Travis founded the Libertarian Party in Henry County. Well, Travis had to open his... At this time, I don't know Travis. I know Jeremiah from doing Pokemon raids. It's not like we're besties or anything. But he knows that I'm a nerd into gaming. We know a little bit about each other. His buddy Travis opened up a board game shop and said I should check it out. So I go in there and it's just board games. Normally board games equals card games too. So it's like, cool, I have a place for Magic. I come in there, I don't have a place for Magic. I have a place for board games I don't play. And I was like, so, Travis, you should do Magic. And he's like, nobody plays that. People haven't played Magic since I was in high school. Now Travis is like 3 years older than me. I was like, if you open it up to Magic, I'll have your shop full next week. And we had an 18-person tournament.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah. There was no prizes or anything. It was just people coming in to check it out on my referral. And ever since then, I told him that day, he's like, do you want any money? Like, do you want a piece of this pie? I'm like, dude, your success is my success. I don't care about the money. You thriving gives me a place to play my game. And then, like, ever since then, that's kind of been our mantra. So, with that in mind, his online sales are picked up to a point where, I can't speak for him, but my perception is he can't quite afford another employee, but it's capacity for all of his current employees to handle all the online orders. So currently he's outsourcing Friday Night Magics to me. So now on top of local event or bi-monthly higher tier events, I'm going to be doing local events every week, which is good for me, less profit for him, but the way he looks at it is if I can kick it up a notch and put more structure in it, more people will show up.
More people will come to town.
To his shop, and he still sells the stuff. So he's looking at this as he's taking a risk on me, my success is his success. And that's come full circle. Now, that building we bought, so the story on that is the current building is city owned, and there have been 2 negotiations so far. The first one fell through because of I think an unforeseen expense, because they'd have to demolish a building to fit, and then the other one fell through because COVID. It didn't make it wasn't financially intelligent to make a decision like this at the time. They wanted in those negotiations to level the building and put apartment complexes there, because Henry County in Newcastle, Indiana, where we're at, is making a big push to revitalize their Broad Street. Now, if you've never heard of Newcastle, Indiana, I don't blame you. You'd either have to be really into basketball, because we've got the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame. We've got the world's largest field house for sports. The second largest?
First in the U.S., second largest in the world now.
Okay.
And that was like a more recent record break. So
all right, but
by
still,
like 5 chairs.
Yeah. And then Indiana has the top 8 in the United States field houses, because we're obsessed with basketball, I think. But and then the other thing that Newcastle is known for is there used to be, back when automotive plants were a building tall, we had a Chrysler, we had Maxwell, we had a lot of car manufacturers on Broad Street, which meant that there were a lot of new cars on Broad Street, and it picked up. And then people would buy their new car and drive it down proudly down Broad Street. And that tradition carried on, and cruising Broad Street in Newcastle was like an Indiana thing. Like, if you had a nice car, you went to flex in Newcastle. Well, as I was growing up, I don't know if you remember this, they actually had to stop cruising Broads because that's where the delinquents started to go. And it was pushing people away. Well, now that our crime rate's down, ever since, because when Chrysler left, crime rate spiked because everybody was jobless. Crime rate's down, jobs are stable. They want to bring back Broad Street, because that was Newcastle's bread and butter. Tourism every weekend, just to drive. Okay, you go to your gas station, go to your food, you might even get a hotel. And now you're here. What's here? We got the Hall of Fame. Cool, we're gonna do that. Anyway, so it makes sense for them to put apartments. It makes sense that they won't care about the local game shop, because Newcastle as a whole will prosper better with a hotel there. Matter of fact, I hope it happens. We'll survive. But with that in mind, we bought a building very close to Broad. Like, you could throw a rock at it. It's within eye shot of the library. It's right next to the post office, which is great for online delivery. Like, when you do a lot of online sales, you just walk next
literally
to it.
just like 2 seconds away.
So we bought that well, I bought that building, and then Travis is going to renovate it. And between the two of us, we have a business, and we're going to rent the bottom out to Save Games, and then rent the top out to somebody. The square footage is bigger than my house, twofold. It's a big apartment.
I saw it.
Yeah,
like, when you said you got in a car wreck a couple weeks ago, I saw your car in like a parking area.
Yep.
Where that it says like do not enter, right there. I'm like, wait a minute, is this the place? Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to take a tour, I'm more than happy to show you.
Yes, please.
I mean, not today, it's Mother's Day, but
yeah.
I mean, maybe today after Mother's Day stuff. But, yeah.
Oh, hey, happy Mother's Day for all the mothers out there.
Yeah. So it's been quite an adventure. I've left Honda. I'm much happier. I'm working from home because of COVID. I don't think I want to go back to working at another place. Like, I can get 8 hours of work done, like 4 to 6 hours, if I push myself, which is great, because then I have a 4 to 6 hour work day. The company gets what they expect. I'm not trying to, if they pay me more, I'll do more. I'm not trying to do more, and I can go do my shit. I'm not beholden to anybody. During lunch, I can do a load of dishes, and then, like, I can work on my business. My business it's better for everybody. And I was talking to my brother about it. I think if they go to move us back into the facility, I will get another job. Matter of fact, I'm already looking for just a full remote gig. I want to get into marketing anyway, So, and that's almost always remote.
So it looks like it's starting to really like get some traction.
Oh yeah, especially once. All right, so with COVID and little asterisk on that. Yes, but it's hard to do face-to-face events in the midst of COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
We've been working hard. We went to Newcastle Glass down here on 14th Street. And we chose them because they own a bar right next to Save Games. It's like a sports bar.
It's like the back porch.
Yeah. It's like a more quiet B-dubs.
It's kind of like a garage pizzeria type thing.
Yeah, it's cool. It's chill. It's not aggressive. It's just a bunch of people after work from Draper that want to relax and drink a beer.
Honestly, my preference.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I think the first time I started actually going to bars, I kind of liked the crazy atmosphere and whatnot, and then it just got old really, really quickly.
Yes, it does.
Really quickly.
Have you ever been to the bars where they've got the little punch thing to tell you how hard you hit?
Yes.
Have you ever been 6'2" and minding your own business, and some angry tiny guy was like, "Come here, we're gonna do this"?
No.
No, it's a nightmare. Like it's just like you. And then like there's one down in Greensburg, at a bar called The Beach, which is like Who's Your Daddy and Town Tavern merged. Yes. Well, at least at the time it was. Because it was very, very, very tiny, and it had like the long, narrow walkway, and it had all of those people in the one building. It was awful.
Oh boy.
Anyway, some dude walked up to me. He's like, "You think you're big, motherfucker?" I'm like, "No, I think I'm here with my buddies." And he's like, "Oh yeah, come here. What are we doing?" Like, I did it. I'm glad I did it. One, it's a story. Two, what I didn't know when he approached me is that he just got out of prison. He got mad earlier the day while drunk, punched and broke his hand. And like, for some reason, this left his ego bruised. And he kept putting dollars in, punching it with his broken hand, and you could see his numbers getting smaller.
Oh.
Because it's self-destructive. I sincerely hope the guy's better now. But like, that's a hard lesson to learn. How much is your pride worth? That hospital bill plus $7.
So what happened?
Oh, like, after I hit it, I gave him a brass ring. That's all he wanted. He wanted to beat a number. So, like, he put it in. Well, this is my takeaway. It's not like I'm in the guy's head. So I hit mine. I'm not the strongest dude in the world. I got like $8.99. I don't know where that ranks.
Probably the highest I've seen.
Well, I know that they can tweak those things too. So.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's arbitrary.
I mean, I've headbutted at 600. So
Jesus.
650. There we go.
Okay.
No running start or anything. I was just like, and then I watched someone else try to beat that with their head. It did not work.
But yeah, that could go very bad.
$15 wasted on trying to headbutt harder.
Jesus.
I'm like, no, just headbutt.
Well, I got drunk real bad one time, and I punched one of them, and I hit the metal at the top. Yeah. So I stopped after that.
So you got $8.99.
Yeah. So I got a okay number. That's back when I was working out too. So it's not like I was tiny. Right now I feel
Kale
weak.
numbers.
Yeah. Right now I feel real weak in comparison, but like then he just kept going. I was like, what is happening? And one of his friends said, like, dude, he's out of control. He broke his hand earlier today. He just got out of jail. He's going crazy. I was like, Jesus. And so I just slowly walked away. I was like, well, that's depressing.
I don't think I've met someone like that yet. Like, met somebody. Like, view from afar, yeah, sure. But actually met somebody like that.
You might have. The thing is, people that are like that aren't like that all the time. You just catch them at their lowest moment.
Like my mother.
Oh, well, Jesus.
Happy Mother's Day.
This is like your favorite day, right? So am I supposed to take your GameCube? How does this work?
No shit. I saw my old GameCube at my buddy's house like a week ago. I'm like, is that the old one I drew on? Yes, it is.
That's hilarious.
Well, I know it's slightly offensive for other people, I guess, when I say I don't really respect my mother all too well.
And
yeah, but still, happy Mother's Day. I know you put in a bit of effort, but I know if you ever choose to listen to this, if you ever get out of jail,
yeah,
know that I always love you, and I hope you do better. But, for now,
distance is appropriate.
Distant.
Yeah.
Yes, distance is appropriate.
And I think that's healthy. Don't condemn her. Hope she gets better. But
that's all I want.
Yeah.
I don't see a relationship with my mother like I see other people's relationships with their mothers.
Right.
I see it as a friend you're just kind of disappointed in.
Oh, yeah. I've had those.
I think that goes for almost everybody in my family. As far as blood goes, I find that my family is, the bonds I've forged with my friends.
Oh, yeah.
Especially over the last year or two. Like, some of my best friends right in the other room sleeping when they're supposed to be up at 9 o'clock, even though it's 10:44.
What's the Bible quote? No, I'm not religious. The blood of the covenant is thicker than the blood of the womb.
I'm not sure. I've never heard that.
It's what the blood is thicker than water is based off of. Or whatever. Blood is thicker than whatever. But people use it to, say family's important, but and especially if you're religious, you should take it to heart. The blood of the covenant is thicker than the blood of the womb. Meaning, you'll forge a stronger connection with your friends and your community than just your family. So,
I feel like that's the most truth, especially with me. Because I'm not really connected to any of my family besides maybe my grandma.
Yeah, I've got a few. My brother and my sister, closest with. Probably my niece and nephew I'm closest with. Just because nephews, they grew up next door. I didn't raise them, but I was there their entire childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And then my sister and my brother, we all lived together. We went through some shit. But I have a sister and a brother I didn't grow up with. One that I met, one that refuses to meet us until my dad dies, which is a long story I'm not going to get into. But it's basically parental alienation. So it's easy to make somebody look like a villain when they don't have a say in the matter.
Exactly.
Yeah. But, I wasn't alive back then. I just know my dad now. Now, my dad is not a superhero. And I say this with love in my heart. He works, he goes home, he pays his bills, takes care of his family. That's it. He's not going out there. He's not like a fireman. He's not going above and beyond for his community. He takes care of his people. He takes time for himself. That's it. He's not a bad guy.
I think the relationship I have with my father is not a lack of effort on his part, but a lack of effort on my mother to get me involved in his life. And it kind of, it's kind of mutual, I think. I think we just both did our own thing, and we were both okay with it,
Well, you're a very unique individual, so if he's anything like you, I can see that. You are, for lack of a better word, a free bird. You'll drop a project because it doesn't seem true to you anymore. You're a nomad, gypsy. You travel. You're struggling with being able to say that you've lived in the same place for a year. Think about that.
Yeah,
It's
or
crazy.
the same month.
Yeah. I think the stability is good and you should stay out of your comfort zone. But what I fear for you is you'll get bored and then just throw away all your progress.
Oh no, it's something I definitely want. All I've wanted for the past 4 or 5 years now is stability. I haven't really worked hard enough for it, and I didn't realize what needed to go into it until maybe the beginning of this year, honestly.
Well, no, that's good though. I mean, at least you're here. You're still further ahead than most people. Cut yourself some slack.
Nah, I'll do that when I'm in my own bed that I've earned. Maybe it'll be a couch. I don't know yet. Maybe I just won't have any furniture. I'll just sleep on the floor, old times.
It sounds a little bit like you. Yeah.
I've thought of that too.
Use old computer parts as a pillow.
Or a blanket.
There you go.
I'm still thinking of how hard Freebird is to play on Guitar Hero. Freebird.
Yeah.
Oh man, that ADD though.
For sure.
I know my dad is. Well, the only things I really know about him is his passion for working on cars is the same as mine tinkering with electronics.
That's good.
And he has ADD too, and he'll make fun of me for having ADD, and my sister.
Oh yeah,
Me and my sister were watching TV, and we were having a conversation, and then I didn't realize that we had stopped talking. My dad's like, "Hey, what?" I'm like, "What? Why are you laughing?" He's like, "I did that to both of you." It's great. I'm expecting another sister now.
That's awesome.
And I named her Isabel.
Okay, as long as you didn't do what Elon did with his kid.
What?
X, the AE combined character, and then like, it's like A2 or something like that.
What?
Yeah, or no, A12.
Why?
I can't remember the first two, but like A12 was the project code for his favorite airship or airplane, the Phantom something.
His kid's a robot.
Basically.
I just heard a podcast yesterday about neural interfacing and whatnot, and an update on that. And
oh yeah, the one where it's on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, and the best case scenario, and when we'll have a communication where we don't have to talk and whatnot. Well, like, as far as like,
I'm still real nervous about that.
5 years. That's
you ever
also...
watch Ghost in the Shell?
Nope.
Well, we're basically it's an anime from way back in the Adult Swim days, even before then, where everybody's AI, except for people who like consciously decide not to, and there's the Laughing Man criminal, and he hacks everybody's eyes at the crime scene he's at, and he'll kill somebody in plain sight, but you can't see him.
That's crazy.
Right. So like, and then there's been guys that's like they've put viruses in RFID chips, and then places that scan it, he'll just wipe their system. Stuff like that. And then with quantum computing being able to break any encryption as we master that, there's no way to safely do it. So like, depending on how linked you are, is what'll decide if I do it or not. Because I love the idea. Like, my phone is in my pocket. You can track me at all times. I've already given up that. Mark of the Beast or whatever. They'll know where you are. They can shut you off. They can cancel my cards. I don't carry cash. I have the option for cash, but like, they can already do all that shit. That's not what I'm worried about. Somebody hacks my phone, I can format it and then start anew on a new phone or whatever. Somebody hacks the thing that's inside your head that's linked to your brain. What are the repercussions?
At worst, probably death.
Right.
Or at worst, probably long-term suffering.
Yeah, like I've watched Black Mirror.
I have only seen one episode of Black Mirror, really? There's
one where they download this guy committed a crime. They downloaded his brain and put it in purgatory.
Fuck that.
He can never die because he's digital, and time will go, the guy, his warden, goes to leave for the night, and he sets it to where he'll experience 1,000 years overnight.
That's fucking crazy.
Right, but like when you're talking about future like simulations, that's not off the table. Black Mirror is nightmare fodder, dog.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Would you like any more coffee, sir?
My knee-jerk reaction is yes, but I can already feel it, so probably not.
Oh, my limit's like usually 2. I've had like 5.
Oh yeah.
I'm waking up for the day.
I can see math. Yeah, Rain Man.
The meme, the fucking...
Yeah. That shit's funny.
Oi. Well, I'd like to keep talking if you want to, but if not, I can cut it off.
No, I'm down.
I like the longer form ones.
So do I. I've gotten a few message few messages from my buddies. I'm a big advocate for people starting their own missions. Like, my brother started a business. I've encouraged him every step of the way. His got way more successful than mine did, way faster. But his is a service, like a physical manual labor, so it's easier to. He does tree trimming. Mm-hmm. Like, matter of fact, I'm gonna plug him because it's a dad joke. His business name is a dad joke. To fell a tree is to drop it.
Yeah.
Right? He's that tree feller.
That is fucking great.
Yeah, well, I didn't know the term for felling a tree, so I was talking to somebody back when I worked at Honda. I'm like, hey, because the storm last year in like August or September tore down his tree a little bit.
Was that the same one that Pendleton had a tornado with?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that was like July, I think.
Okay, so yeah, it was then, and I was like, my brother, that tree feller, if you look him up and I get a quote from him, whatever, he's like, I'm like, what? He's like, to fell a tree? You're telling me your brother has a company and you don't even get the joke? I'm like, no, man. Like, he asked me business questions, and now he doesn't anymore because, like, once that shit gets going, it's kind of like, you just keep doing it.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like this, the Two Pints radio show?
Yeah, like, the hard part is setting it up. And then most of the time, the only thing holding people back is they just didn't do that setup. Then it's easy. I mean, how many times you go to work and train, and then after that, it's easy?
Like a day, maybe?
Well, right, but like you just got to train yourself for the new thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so my buddy Louie, he's starting an auto detailing side gig, but he's wanting to register an LLC because he's gonna have other people's cars, so he doesn't want like the worst case scenario. Something happen or he get blamed for something, be liable. And that's what an LLC does. It provides you a shell. And so he just got his logo and he's been ordering all sorts of shit. Business cards, t-shirts. But he ordered pens. I'm like, what do you need pens for?
What?
Why do you need pens, Louie? Louie Chaplin, I'm looking at your text message where you said, I was expecting a Jesus. Because he said, I ordered 500 pens, and I put, why? He's like,
500 pens?
Seemed like a good idea.
Do I need a pen?
Apparently. Well, if you do, I got a plug.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I will go to you for a pen now.
Yeah.
It better be as good, or at least along the lines of a Precise V5 from Bic. Or I think it's Bic anyway.
It's probably
That's like my favorite fucking pen. And I've only used a pen, that one, this entire year. That one pen. Because everything else is digital. You just jot it down on your phone. Who carries a notepad with them?
You.
Not anymore.
Well, you used to carry everything in your backpack. You're like Dora the Explorer.
You know what's fucking weird? Having an empty backpack sitting there, and I'm wondering what the hell I'm going to put in it now.
Just rocks.
I don't have a rock collection anymore, man. That's how I met Johnny. What's a rock collection?
Really?
Did I tell you that story?
No, you didn't.
Okay. Here's how I met my friend that would introduce me to everyone else in my friend group, pretty much.
Yeah.
Back before I didn't even have friends. Like, I can't remember a time where I hung out with somebody that I could call my friend besides one or two people.
Right.
And that's because we grew up together, like parents,
Right.
But I met Johnny because I had lived on Illinois Street, right there, and I came down the hill, and I was just walking around, collecting rocks in this really inadequate box for rocks, like felt inside and whatnot. Probably not good with rocks in it, but who cares? And I saw Johnny just walking on Woodward, and I'm like, "Sup?" Or actually, he was like, "What's up, dude? I've never seen you around here." I'm like, "Do you want to see my rock collection?" He's like, "No, but I can play video games. Do you like video games?" And then we both walked to North End Market and got some Tootsie Rolls.
That's hilarious.
And then we went back to his house. I met Corey. I think he was playing Xbox, possibly.
Probably.
I don't even really... I think he was hanging out on the porch with Mike, actually. And maybe Alex? Maybe Alex. Right. And they were playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something.
Okay.
And this all happened, and one day I'm like, whoa, who are all these freaking people?
Right. Like, little did you know you just stumbled upon a little haven of where everybody goes to hang out.
Yep, just out of nowhere, just like, hey, what's up? I've only moved 12 times in my life. I don't know when I'm moving again, which I lived there for about half a year, actually. And I moved out to Shirley, and then Johnny came out there once, I think. But we didn't talk for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came back, and I was on 28th Street, and then we started hanging out again like it was nothing, you know.
Good. That's one thing that I always encourage people is to do what you want regardless. So you collecting rocks set you down a path that one could argue.
Geologist.
Well, no.
Wait, geologist?
Yes, geology.
I thought it was... Never mind. Cartography, there we go.
Oh.
Rocks, like road map. Anyway, continue.
That would keep you out of the bad shit that your other family members did. Because you wanted to collect rocks, you went down the street and you found a friend group that would kind of be there for you on the shitty times. Granted, some of the people gave you a lot of shit, but I think that Johnny's house was a good haven for you, considering it was a haven for me, for not as much as it was for you and Mikey, but it definitely changed my life hanging out with the Bells. Like, just because you wanted to collect rocks. Mm-hmm. And then I became a business owner because I wanted to play Pokemon Go as a grown 28-year-old man. Like, do what you want, people, because you never know what opportunities it's going to give you. Like, if you want to just start freaking doing ballet... No, there's dance classes in town. Like, if you want to go do dance classes, start, because who knows where that'll end up. Just go be happy.
My interest in repairing broken things, even though they're very, very broken, got me my job.
Really?
Like, with Monarch Beverage.
Yeah, how so?
I went to... My buddy had his Xbox thrown out into his yard and whatnot. And it was obviously broken as shit. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go to it. I already have like a replacement shell possibly to fix it up. So that's the thing I like to do. On my way back, I see one of their trucks making a delivery, and I'm like, I wonder. I turn around, get out of my car, talk to the guy, get the Big Cheese's number, and we talk for a bit. He forwards me to the recruiter, and then we shoot the shit for an hour, you know, talking about all the benefits and whatnot, and now I'm waiting on my background check.
That's
as soon
awesome.
as that comes in, I start on the 18th.
What's starting pay?
17 an hour, and if I want to do delivery, which I'm kind of interested in branching into that division, they pay for my CDL, and then that's 22 an hour.
Damn.
Delivering beer to 2/3 of the state.
That's dope, man.
And the benefits I see now with my podcast, especially with that interest, you know?
Right.
One, there's beer tastings.
Okay.
Like, classes for it. Like, the 8 points of beer tasting.
That's dope, man.
There's an on-site clinic if I ever need anything like that. PTO as soon as I start.
That's awesome.
Benefits in 30 or 60 days, something like that. Like dental. Hey, no more buck teeth, you know?
That's awesome.
Yeah. The opportunities and all the benefits are absolutely right there just because I went to go pick up an Xbox.
That's fantastic.
I didn't even give it a second thought. Like, I had almost forgotten about this job. I almost forgot about it as an option because I didn't think, you know, they would hire me because I was once a competitor.
Oh.
But no, they scalp each other all the time. I know because my buddy Zach that worked for them went over to the competitor. I only know his name. I kept calling him Ryan even though his name is Zach. And the way I remember his name is Zach and on the Universe. So,
okay.
But he went over to the competitor. So I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just go over to the other one? You know? And the benefits... are there. I don't know if I want to be a merchandiser anymore, which is salary-based and incentive. Right. But that gets me out in the field, and it gets me talking to people. And that actually started the interest for Two Pints Radio Show. Making a podcast about tasting beer and whatnot and sharing stories. Because the people I would meet out in the field would have interesting stories.
Right.
Like, if your wife... you know, left you and you're just wanting to get drunk, or you're out just like trying to get a new beer,
or celebrating, or any number of things. Have you gone to Sun King's tour?
No.
I mean, you can't because COVID, but I've been wanting to go because I guess they do all their secret beers too, like the ones they're testing. I guess you can try those too.
I would love to do that. I did do a secret tasting at the competitor for Office. I think it's just called Office. Like, they had the beer, the silver can, and just like a label on it. It was awesome. And then that one actually went out to be its own beer.
Oh.
I want to do that. You know, I want to do this where I share stories with people and taste, great beer.
You could be a professional wine snob.
Yeah, but with beer.
Yeah.
Like a milkman, but with beer. Which is how I got the job at that competitor, by the way. I was a milkman at Kroger, and
Jesus.
he just walked up and he's like, "Hey," I'm like, "Hey, how you doing? You looking for milk?" But my effort to put that forward gave him an interest in giving me a job because I was vocal about that and I was trying to sell him milk.
Right.
And he's like, "Come by my office. Yeah, we'll see what happens and whatnot." So I put on Facebook as soon as I got the job. I'm like the milkman, but with beer.
That's funny.
So that's I don't
Far
know.
less estranged. Would you have more or less estranged children as a milkman, but with beer?
Depends if it's St. Patrick's Day.
All right, so yearly you'll have a spike.
I'm a St. Patrick's baby.
Oh, that's weird to know.
Yep, I knocked into the left. That's fine.
Yeah, that's only what's collecting the data, as long as you don't bump the mic.
Do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I timed it back to my birthday. I am a product of St. Patrick's Day and a lot of guesswork, I guess.
Jesus.
Do you know my conception?
Hmm.
Story time. Here's how I was conceived. Is he trying to sell you pens?
No. No, I have my podcast to record today.
Oh shit, what time?
That'll be at 2.
Okay.
I gotta go see my mama.
Okay. Well, yeah. We'll wrap this up in like a few minutes then. I'm going to tell my conception because it's Mother's Day.
No, yeah. What a way to celebrate. So, my mom was hammered, right? And then she got hammered. The end.
No. The rabbit hole is a little deeper than that one.
Oh, I figured. Otherwise, why would you tell the story about your parents getting laid?
Because one, it's kind of funny.
Okay.
My mom's side of the story, which I believed for a while until I talked to my dad, which always does not sugarcoat anything. He just flat out says it.
Right.
My mom's like, "Yeah, we went to this rave, and he took me by the hand through this cornfield, and we went to a barn, and that's how you were born."
Huh.
My dad's like, "She came over with her cousin. I had never met her before. We were all really drunk because it was St. Patrick's Day, and we took baseball bats to car windows, and one thing led to another, and we had you."
Jesus. What's that? What's
The 90s letting out some steams, breaking car windows. Apparently, I'm a product of rage. But in between that story is kind of interesting too. 3 candidates total could have been my father. My dad's like, well, here, I'll just say
You're
it
a cocktail
like this.
baby.
Hold on, I'll just put it like this. My mom's like, "Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, you're the father," and my dad's like, "I'm gonna do cocaine now."
Jesus. Well, it's gotta raise money somehow.
Sorry, Dad, if you ever listen to this.
I'm pretty sure you're past statute. And plus, it's not an admission, it's an accusation.
I'm pretty sure he just wanted to keep that away from me anyway, so,
Yeah.
Good on you, buddy. Even though my mom said you stumbled out of your car one time with a lot of beer cans. We'll let it slip.
Yeah.
Anyway, happy Mother's Day.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on, man. I liked it.
Oh, I love it. Like, I know drinking beer really brings out a lot in people, but so does coffee.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm a sleepy drunk. That's my only concern. If I'm not drinking like Jaeger bombs to keep me hype, I'll drink like a beer or two, and then I'm like, all right, nap time.
I'm a lightweight, so it really depends on what 2 beer combinations I can do at that current time.
That's fair.
Sometimes I do 5, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll just scrap this recording. But hey, this has been the 2 Pints Radio Show with your host, That Nick Guy, and my guest, Kel McGuire.
Girl!
Look, go ahead, do your plugs if you want, again, at the very end here.
Yeah, if you want to get a hold of me, I'm Kelly McGuire, but most of my social media is for my business, so you can still talk to me. Guire Gaming Accessories on Facebook, Guire Gaming on TikTok, and then Guire_Gaming on Instagram. And then I think I actually have a Twitter now, Guire Gaming on Twitter.
I've never really used Twitter.
It's weird because, like, you can actually just talk to famous people.
That is weird. I did send Disney a message on something important.
Did you tell him to quit buying your childhood?
I asked, what?
Quit
yes.
buying? Yeah.
No. No, wait, I asked someone at Nintendo something. Still haven't got a reply yet. I forgot what it was. It was something that was like, that's interesting. Definitely interesting. Nope, forgot it. Oh well.
Like, one of the biggest Magic creator, like, people in the Magic Wizards of the Coast, like, staff members, Mark Rosewater, he has a Tumblr that he's very active on. He's also active on Twitter, but I'm not active on Twitter. Like, I've had multiple replies from him, and that's weird. Like, because I'll ask a question, and then there's sometimes where I'll ask a question, and then he'll answer the same question from another person, and what you get with that sometimes is he'll scroll through his list of all his questions he gets daily, and then just answer one of the most common questions. Anyway, but like, it's just weird having a direct line to people that you would never just run into.
It's kind of along the same lines. Rare, the company Rare, liked one of the photos I posted on Twitter of Ricky Williamson just staring out into the sunset on Sea of Thieves. I'm like, my dumbass friend just staring out in the ocean. Rare liked it.
That's hilarious.
Not Sea of Thieves Twitter, Rare.
That's awesome.
And then Death Wish Coffee liked one of the pictures I took, like 2 weeks ago.
Dude, I don't know if I got a weak batch, but I've got a thing of Death Wish coffee at home. I literally drank 2 cups of it and took a nap. Like, that is the opposite of what I expect from Death Wish, at least with its branding. I should not be able to sleep after, like, and this isn't like I've had a long day and I was trying to push through the last few hours of the night. I woke up after 7 hours of sleep, made a pitcher of Death Wish, drank 2 cups, and I was like, this is...
You know what's weird? Sometimes coffee makes me really tired.
Yeah, I don't know if there's like a switch in my brain that gets flipped and it's like, this is a depressant now, not a stimulant.
I like Death Wish coffee. I like the taste.
The taste was good.
Yeah, like half a cup gets me wired for like 10 seconds, and then...
Yeah.
Like, right now, I'm starting to feel the sludge.
Mm-hmm.
The shaky sludge.
And in 20 minutes, you're going to have to poop.
Oh, no, I have to poo now.
Oh, there you go.
It comes immediately. I don't poo for like 5 days, and when I drink coffee, it all comes out like ice cream.
That's not healthy, Nick.
Probably not. I should eat more fiber than noodles a day. Anyway, this has been the Two Pints Radio Show. I am proud to say that you can find us on Spotify and Apple, which is really, really cool. Trying to get Pandora going.
You know what, we're going to have to meet up and talk again, because we didn't even talk about the idea that we're starting with app development.
Oh,
so we'll have to do a part 2 sometime.
Yes, part 2 coming. Well, not part 2, I just name it 2. Like,
okay.
For the name of this one, it's going to be just Kel McGuire.
Right.
Like, anybody that I have a one-on-one with, I just put their name.
Okay.
So the second one's just going to be Kel McGuire 2.
Okay. I mean, but yeah, I'll have to come back on.
Yes, definitely. Thank you for coming in my home and judging me.
I won't judge you. No, you're doing well.
Alrighty. Later.
Bye.